Hello, hi Madhu. Good afternoon.
Hi Mega, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Amazing. Good to meet you after. I think it's been long since we met, right? So, how are
Y-
things at your end?
Come again?
How are things at your end in terms of your YouTube journey, in terms of your professional, personal assignments? How are things there?
Yeah, it's going well. Like I'm managing all them simultaneously, all of them.
All of them. So, you've become quite a multitasker.
Yes, I would say yes.
Okay. Is it easy to multitask? Do you think you've gotten a good grip over multitasking now, or there are days when you feel it's quite challenging?
Yeah, sometimes like I feel like a little hectic, and
Mm.
working multiple things as simultaneously. It like one kind of the habit, I would say.
Mm. Okay. So, what do you think is better? What is more productive? Focusing on many things at the same time, or focusing on only one thing at one time? What do you feel is better?
Uh, I would strongly recommend if it in case it's a really necessary and important, then you have to
Mm.
focus about that thing only,
Mm.
for some particular time only, some
Okay.
period. Like it's if it in case it's a regular academics, then we don't need to put some more attention on the same things until unless we get an exams. I'd say, see, if it in case that is a regular semester one, I strongly believe that like it. Uh, Really not required us to study entire semester, like
Mm.
at least a 1 month prior to our exams is a highly enough to score, to be in the merit list. So that is the one thing. uh,
Mm.
like consider it is a government exams or some of the competitive exams. Yes, we need to put 100% efforts on the same, to
Yes.
achieve or to select in the particular examination.
True, true, absolutely. So it all depends on the situation. That's the moral, right?
Yes.
Okay, great, very nice. So, and tell me, how is your day going? Is everything going according to plan, or have there been any surprises along the way?
It's actually going on the plan, but I'm wasting so much time. I mean, I wasted so much time so far. I didn't
Mhm.
done my works properly. So due to
Okay.
this climate changes, like it's a very hot in the outside.
It's very hot outside. I think the situation is same here in my locality. I
Hmm.
cannot take a session if the fan is not turned on. So is it the same there?
Yes, it is. So it's a very, 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 very hard.
Okay, I hope you're staying hydrated.
Yes, I do drink a water usually.
Yes, yes. Okay, fantastic. So, on that note, let's dive into today's session, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the topic of discussion is manners. So, would you like to have a conversation with me on the same, or do you have any other questions or any other subject that you would like to discuss with me today?
Mm, I think madness is like that is not this thing that I'm not gonna be discuss. Like we can stick into some other things like which people are allowed to watch. Such kind of the things we can discuss. I mean,
Okay,
this video
definitely.
will going to be in the YouTube, right?
Okay, think about it from a personal perspective. What do you want to do to improve, right? So you can come up
Hmm.
with suggestions. You tell me. I'm very bad at understanding any YouTube algorithm or social media algorithm. So you suggest something on which we can have a conversation, and we'll make it happen.
Yes, last time we had a conversation regarding interview tips and suggestions. So this time
Correct.
we can plan
Hmm.
something. I would say. mm, Communication skills.
Definitely, that's quite a relevant topic,
Hmm.
communication, and I think on English Yaari it makes even more sense because this is a spoken English platform, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to communication, there are two ways in which we communicate, right? One is with words, and one
And
is without
non-verbal.
words. Yeah.
Yes.
So you tell me, what are the components of non-verbal communication? Even without saying anything, how can we say a lot just without using words? Any idea?
Yes, yes. So non-verbal communication means one is the gestures, like making a
Hmm.
signs.
Hmm.
And
Hand
second,
gestures.
hand gestures, and second thing like eye contact is one of the things that I've read, and good attires. Wearing good attires, sitting at the right
Hmm.
position and comfortable position, and
Hmm.
uh, these are comes under the interview etiquettes.
Yes.
So I would say these are the things I know. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, that's very true. So, your facial expressions. So, imagine that you're speaking to someone and they have a bored expression on their face. Would you feel comfortable continuing the conversation with them? Like, let's say you're talking to me and I'm yawning, or I'm just looking here and there, I'm on my phone constantly. Would you think that's good? Would you feel like continuing the talk with me?
No, it's absolutely boring to another person as well. Like they
Yeah.
thought that they are little interest on the conversation.
Correct. Absolutely. So, facial expressions are, of course, very important. And second is eye contact. This is something that most people, feel like even most of your subscribers would relate to it, that maintaining eye contact with someone we are meeting for the first time is very difficult. Video
Hmm.
calls are okay, but one on one conversations, it gets a little awkward. So, you tell me,
Yes.
Madhu, is it easy for you to maintain eye contact with people you're meeting for the first time or professionally, or is it a little bit of a challenge?
I think it's a little bit of the challenge to maintain the eye contact one on one. If I meet the person first time,
Yes.
because
Yes.
we don't know how they can take into consideration. See, if
Hmm.
in case it's a female, it's definitely not in good, and if they are in a like I would say they are in a very mm,
High
reputed
position.
position.
Yes.
Yeah, reputed position, like it's not may work out. So we should you know take a diversion into some other places, then only we can able to maintain. That's the thing I would say.
Right. So maintaining eye contact is tricky, but it is manageable. All right. So my biggest advice is when you're meeting somebody, especially for an interview, for any professional meeting, maintaining eye contact does not mean you stare into other person's eyes and stare into their soul. You don't have to do that. In between, you
Yes.
can surely take some diversions, some breaks. For instance, when you're meeting somebody, you don't have to directly look into their eyes. You can look at the forehead, the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, right? So these are some portions that you can overall focus on instead of only looking into their eyes.
Nice.
And sometimes it's also okay to break eye contact. Let's say you want to think about an answer. So instead of staring at the person blankly, just lower your gaze for 3 4 seconds. Take your time to think and lift your gaze and start answering. So these things are allowed. The whole point is to be comfortable.
All right, sure.
Great. So, I have a question for you. Imagine that you are in a very high position at a company, all right, and you are the interviewer, but the candidate that you are meeting right now, okay, they are giving you the right answers, but constantly they're fidgeting in their seat, okay, they're tapping their foot, they're looking here and there. So, what impression would you form about this candidate?
Okay. It's definitely lead to negative impression on the candidate, because
Okay.
whenever we are giving an interview,
Mm,
we should follow some of the rules and regulations of the
mm,
particular interview. It is a
mm,
very important to follow some you know uh,
mm,
set of the instructions that were given
mm,
by the interviewer, like sitting in the right position, feel free and
mm,
comfortable,
mm.
giving a hand gestures, and answers for their questions in a good manner. These are the
Yeah.
general things that I would always believe. So
Mm.
definitely it lead to a negative impression on the particular candidate.
Hmm. Okay. Absolutely. So it number one, it shows that the candidate lacks confidence, and in
Mm.
any project, the employer would want someone who has self confidence, who's self assured, because confidence is something that no one can teach you. It is something that you have to teach yourself by self motivation. Correct.
Yes,
So even though we have a lot of technical knowledge, if we portray ourselves to be underconfident, no one will believe us. That's one thing. Okay.
exactly.
So yeah, so when it comes to nonverbal communication, of course, it's important to use hand gestures to be comfortable, but don't move too much. Be still, be comfortable in
Okay.
your seat. Use only those hand gestures which are sufficient. One is this, okay, or one is this. And whatever you do, make sure it is below your chin. It shouldn't cover your face. It shouldn't look like we are doing some Bharatnatyam in the interview room, right? So it should be decent.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's very important. Okay, very well. And English, when it comes to verbal communication, do you feel like English these days is just a language, or has it become a skill that people assess?
Hmm, good question. So it is not at all a language. So it's
Mm,
absolutely a skill. We have to use some formal English communication skills while we presenting something instead of the boring words which we know already. So if we use the regular words, people who are in the good position already reputed, so they might get the
mm,
bored about the something. So there were two different kinds of the English. One is a formal English which we use in the office, that means corporate English, and second
mm,
thing is a general English which we communicate people usually. So
mm,
absolutely you have to learn the skills which are really required for the corporate companies and
mm.
reputed organization, whichever the English is used, we have to learn them. And second thing, the general, which we taught from the school itself.
Which we are taught from school itself.
Taught
Yes.
from the school itself, yeah.
Yes, I'm very glad that you brought up the point of using business English. Correct.
Yeah.
So tell me, Madhu, everywhere you hear people saying, even there are so many YouTube channels which are constantly like, oh, you speak basic English, learn advanced English, and they give some uh, random idiom or a phrase to
Mm.
complicate things. Do you think it is advised to use a lot of idioms at workplace or it's not?
Mm. So it's really necessary because in the corporate English, people usually use idioms, phrases, and you know shortcuts. I would say I couldn't recall the word exactly. That is
Hmm.
like abbreviations. Let's consider
Hmm.
one of the things like wo, EOD,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
uh, and KT. These are the something that I've heard. I mean, I repeatedly
Yeah.
heard from the manager itself.
Hmm.
So yes, these are like uh, quite tricky, but those are very meaningful.
Hmm.
Whenever we are using that words, it represents that you are a professional guy, you are an corporate guy. So yes,
Hmm.
I strongly suggest we have to use. And even I um, get some words from the my manager and my teammates. Yes, it's I will consider it as an advice, not
Hmm.
uh, you know the thing which is like implicates on my learning journey.
Okay, all right. So let's play a small quiz now. I'll
Mhm.
give you a couple of idioms. You tell me whether they are suitable to be used at our workplace or it's better to go with the simpler version of these idioms and just use the direct vocabulary or the direct independent words. Okay.
Yeah,
Number
sure.
one, um, I received a task from my manager, which I felt is very easy.
Hmm.
Is it okay if I tell my manager, hey, that project was a piece of cake? So, is it appropriate or inappropriate?
Can you repeat the words once again, so if you don't mind?
This project was a piece of cake. A piece of cake is an idiom that is used to say that something is very easy.
Easy, yes.
Hmm.
I
Tell me,
mean, I
is it appropriate to say that it is a piece of cake at a workplace, or is it better to say this project was easy? What makes more sense? You tell me.
obviously the piece of cake in the corporate.
I would strongly suggest the opposite. In the
Mhm.
professional world, of course, idioms and phrases are very important. They enhance the beauty of a language. But when it comes to critical tasks, it is always advised to use the simple words So we don't make a riddle out of important things to our teammates. Okay, if a project is
Okay.
easy, you say this is easy. If a project is difficult, you say it is difficult instead of saying it is a hard nut for me to crack or whatever. No. When it comes to important situations, critical tasks, idioms and phrases, keep them aside, stick to words that everyone understands so that there's no misunderstanding.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks.
The second one, what kind of idioms can you use? What kind of idioms and phrases can you use at the workplace? Number one, you can say in a nutshell. In a nutshell is very commonly used. Everyone knows it. In a nutshell means a summary. So at the end
Mm,
of a meeting, you can say in a nutshell, these are the points that we have to work on. You can use
yes.
phrases like on the one hand, this project is easy. On the other hand, it is very expensive. Right, on the one hand,
Yes.
on the other hand, these
Other
are
hand.
form idioms and phrases which you can safely use, but nothing too dramatic. Okay, all right, great, fabulous. So if you have any questions, any queries related to whatever we have discussed so far, please let me know.
It's clear, Mega.
It's
No
clear,
doubts.
no?
Yes.
Okay, all right. What is the whole point of communication? Is it to make uh, the conveying of ideas difficult or easy? What is the sign of a good communicator? One who communicates the ideas in a short way or in a very long way?
So the question is two parts here. The first
Mm.
one would be, would have consisting good communicator. That means the qualities of the good communicator. And second thing, whenever we have to communicate, is it in a short mode or a lengthy mode? Right?
Should it
Is it
be
the
in a short mode or should it be in a lengthy mode?
lengthy mode? Yeah. So is that is that is that the question?
Yes. So you
Yes.
tell me what is the correct answer. Should we communicate in a short and simple way or in a very long way?
I would strongly suggest it should not be a short or it should not be too much lengthy. It should be
Hmm.
moderate manner only. So whenever we have to communicate, we are communicating to the other person. Uh,
Hmm.
there are some set of the things that we have to follow. The first
Yeah.
thing, as like mentioned earlier, hand gestures and eye contact up to the point. Like whichever the point that we have to tell that person, make sure we follow the some general points like step by step methodology or you know
Hmm.
some general ways to explain the things that should be understandable and easier to understandable. And the next thing, our body language also important. Like whenever we are presenting the things, body language also one of the most important things.
Correct.
And the information which you brought in front of the
Hmm.
people, that should be concise and
Hmm.
accurately, not too much lengthy or too much bored for the people. So it
Boring.
should yeah, it should be understandable and in the easiest manner. So these are the things that I always believe and I do follow the same.
Okay, very nice. I'm happy that you expressed your opinion so clearly. Yes, the answers or the responses shouldn't be so short that the other person is filled with doubts about what you said. They shouldn't be like,
Mm,
I didn't understand what Madhu said. He didn't give me the full information. And it should not be so lengthy that people are like, oh God, when will he stop talking? So it shouldn't be both the cases. It should be in the
yes.
middle. Okay, very nice. So you have connected from your laptop, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let's play a small quiz. I will give you a very lengthy sentence. Okay. And I'll
Hmm.
give you two options. You have to tell me which option is the short version of the long sentence. Very easy. So can you please open the chat section?
Okay.
All right. So the lengthy sentence is Jyoti is an honest person who treats everyone fairly and is also kind. Okay.
Okay.
So now you tell me what is right. Jyoti is ambitious or Jyoti is virtuous? Which adjective describes Jyoti the best?
Mm, I'm sorry to say this, like I don't know the meaning of both the words. Like I'm you know
Ambitious, you don't know? Ambition, a person who has a lot of ambition, ambitious, that you should be knowing, right?
okay.
Yeah, ambitious means a person who has a lot of ambitions in life, who has a lot
Ambitions.
of goals. Okay,
Okay.
so
I think it's a second word only.
it's a second word only.
Uh,
The
I mean,
long
second
sentence.
sentence. Yeah,
Ha.
second sentence fit for the long sentence.
Okay. So honesty, kindness, treating everyone fairly, these are good qualities. Agreed? Being honest, being kind, being fair, good qualities.
Yes,
The synonym for good qualities is virtue. 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 It's a synonym
virtue.
for good quality. A person
Okay,
with good qualities is virtuous. Simple.
virtuous. Okay.
Okay. All right. So another one. Let's say that Madhu. My hero in the sentence right now is Madhu. If I say that Madhu loves going out, meeting new people, and making new friends. So what will I say? Is Madhu arrogant or is Madhu sociable?
He's not arrogant. He's social.
He's not
Something you said, right?
sociable. Yes, I'll put the spelling in
Sociable.
the chat. You can. Uh,
Sociable. Sociable. Okay.
yes, it means a person who loves socializing with
So,
others.
all right.
Okay. So the words that we use, they don't have to be ultra complicated in communication. You can use simple words but relevant words to make your answers more clear so that everyone can understand. Got it?
All right.
Yeah. Many learners feel like learning vocabulary means you have to learn very hi-fi words that nobody knows. That's not needed, to be honest. Got it?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, yes, non-verbal communication, verbal communication, the role of English in communication, we've covered these three things today. Is there anything else that you would want to talk to me about? Any other questions or queries that you have?
Regarding communication, so far is nothing. I mean, there's no doubt. Yeah, we can
Right.
go for the feedback.
Sure. So I was closely observing the sentence structures that you made. Let's start with the positives for the feedback. Number one, I think your accent has gotten better. Are you doing anything to improve your accent or
I
your
mean,
pronunciation?
yeah, I do practice the words like whichever the tutors has given to me multiple
Okay.
times. Like, and I do use the Google for how to pronounce the words exactly in the different accents. That is the one thing
All
that I've
right.
done. And second, I do repeat the words in the multiple ways. I've seen many
Hmm.
recording sessions as well. So whichever the
Hmm.
tutor has given to me, so I do follow their things.
Okay, very nice. So your hard work is clearly showing your accent has become very neutral, right? So that's a big improvement. And even the fluency with which you speak, the pauses and hesitations, I couldn't sense any major pauses or hesitation. So fluency has also improved. So good job. Good job regarding that.
Thanks.
All right. So some things that we can surely work upon is certain basics. So let's start with the pronunciation. It's not gesture, it's gesture. Even though the word starts with the GES, we pronounce it as gestures.
Okay, gestures.
Very good. FOLLO. How do you pronounce this? FOLLOW.
Follow.
When you speak, right, it becomes follow. The for is not that prominent, so you have to make that follow. The O sound, it has to be very clear.
Okay, follow. Follow.
Yes, follow. Very good. So I'll give you one more word in the chat box. Please pronounce that for me loudly.
Recording.
Here,
Recording.
very good. Recording. So in the
Yeah.
flow of the speech, the chord becomes card. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to avoid that. So be mindful
Okay.
in the upcoming sessions whenever you are speaking words which have O sound in them. So be a little careful.
All
Okay,
right.
great. And a small quiz. I'll give you two sentences. Tell me which is correct, which is wrong. All right. I didn't do my homework or I didn't done my homework. Which is right?
Obviously, do. Did plus V1 equals to P4, right?
Exactly. You know the rules. Now you have to focus on making at least 10, 15 sentences so that when you speak, you don't do this. Okay. So in the session, at a point you said I didn't done, and that's not the correct structure. uh, I would
I
surely.
haven't done. That could be the thing. Yeah, that could have I said.
You don't have to change the verb itself. No? You don't have to go that route. Just focus on this. Instead of saying I didn't done, you will simply say I didn't do. That's it.
Do.
You don't have to change the didn't to haven't. You don't have to do all that. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. It may not work out or it not may work out, which is the correct order of words. It may not work out. I'll give you the two options in the chat so that you can analyze it clearly.
Mm-hmm.
This is option A, and this is option B.
I'll go with the B. It may not work.
Correct. So even the order of your words is something that you can be very careful, because in the flow of speech sometimes you are in a hurry to answer, so the order gets a little jumbled. So please work on that.
All right.
Okay. Other than this, nothing else. You did a pretty good job. Very confident, very fluent, great accent. So, if you can in the next session, try to speak a little slowly. Don't feel pressurized to speak very fast or say too many things at the same time. Take it slow and steady. After each sentence, pause for 2 seconds. You're allowed to do that. So, you can catch your breath, organize your thoughts, and continue. So, speak slowly in the next session.
Sure.
Okay, great. That's it from my end. If you have any other questions or queries, please fire away. Let me know.
Mm, so far, no. I
Okay,
think
all
it's
right.
clear.
Perfect. So, thank you so much for participating so well in today's session. I look forward to meeting you. Keep practicing English until then, and see you next time. Bye bye.
Sure. Bye bye. Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome.